Taylor Allison Swift. This woman can do no wrong. This week, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm pretty sure you know she dropped Midnights, which has been rocking the charts really. I've been so excited for this album. I even pre-ordered the collector's edition vinyl that also comes with a signed photo of Taylor Swift. In this video today, I'll show you how to make a track kind of like Maroon, something a bit more moody and spaced out. And yeah, let's jump straight into it. For most of the song, we're gonna need a bass. So what I've done is I've gotten two basses. I'm gonna be using a lot of analog lab because the synths and the vibe of the record itself is very like synth-heavy. Synth bass by Analog Lab. The first bass by itself is gonna sound something like this. Okay, and then all we're gonna do is layer this bass with another one, and this time it's called Heavy Time. This is the preset I'm using. It just fills out the bass a bit more. So for the main bass, what I've done is I'm using Tile Chorus X free plugin, these settings, in order to make the bass a bit wider and get even more space coverage. And then Pro Q3, just duck some of the lows. And then we move on to the bass one shot. Roig Biv bass. By itself, it's gonna sound something like this. I've run it through Isotope Trash 2, Chiptooth preset, and it's gonna sound something like this. And that's only for the chorus. After that, I've made this plucky, jumpy synth, and that is only for the verse bit. The way I've done this is something that I designed from scratch, so just use the mini bass, waveform, unison to 7, detune them a bit. You also want some attack here to kind of fade in the sound, and then what makes it plucky is I've designed this LFO envelope here. So this is routing to the level of the actual oscillator, so it's pretty much just like tweaking a knob back and forth between 0 and 100, 0 and 70, 0 and 60%, and I've done it like this, so they're not all the same volume. There's some analog bit to it, and I've layered it with another sound here, which sounds something like this. And then I've exported that second synth and I've pitched it down. Now here, for the verse again, I have added a Sparkly Boy synth, which pretty much is a Matrix 12 preset called Last Light. You know, it's just ear candy pretty much. The chords are standard like pop chords. I'm using this Analog Lab preset. It's called AE Untitled 04. I know, not very helpful, but okay. And then I've layered them with a serum patch that I designed, and it's a very simple one. I'm using the Juno wave, pitched it up, unison 7, detune, and then I'm using this envelope, and also I'm using the LFO here for the detuning, and it's gonna sound something like this. And finally, the other main bit here is the lead. So for the lead, I'm using two parts. First is called Trapped. By itself, it's gonna sound something like this. Okay, and then I've layered it with another Analog Lab preset here, and that's called All With Triangles, and I've added it because of the glide element. Okay, and I'm also adjusting the modulation wheel here just to open the filter a bit. Then we move on to the drums. So this is the kick snare pattern for the chorus. So for the chorus bit, the kick and the snare have a layer. So I'm using two snares and two kicks, while in the verses I take away the kick and the snare, one of them, so that they're less impactful, but you know, the main content of the drums is still there. Another thing I've added is this loop by Kashmir. I just cut the first bit, so it's gonna sound like this. For the hi-hats, there's 3 parts. So first things first, we have standard hi-hats, and they're just 16th notes. The velocity just alternates between high and low. And then I've added a layer for the hi-hats, which is a lower hat, so something like this. And then finally this arcade patch, which is Beat Concrete from Instead of Hi-Hats line. And just for the chorus part, I've added the snare fills, so something like this. Finally, a few ear candy elements I want to showcase. I've exported the bass and pitched up 1 octave. So every 4 bars, I think, we have this reverse note that sounds like this. We also have this noise bit that also sounds like a hi-hat. This downlifter that's every 4 bars from the verse onwards. That is it. And now I will just leave you with Taylor Swift vocals just to see if everything fits. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys learned a few things here and there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.
How we end up on the floor anyway, you say. Your roommate's cheap ass screw top rose.